that the project needs an environmental impact report, but the use itself is not in question. So in this project, we did look through CEQA and through a checklist, and we did look at this project, which will provide for a recycling facility for curbside customers, both in, I believe, Lake and Mendocino County. The facility will be entirely located within an existing building. There'll be about 2.3 trucks per hour on average that will go to the facility. They'll be offloaded, material will be sorted, they'll be baled, and then it'll be sent off. The majority of traffic will enter by way of North State Street. The hours of operation will be limited to daytime hours and Saturday daytime hours. There's no authorization for any self-haulers to come to this facility. It's only for curbside recycling that would otherwise go through the transfer station and then is shipped off currently to another out-of-county place where it is sorted and baled and processed. Among the environmental concerns are that this is in an area that has an identified earthquake fault that runs right through this property, and so there's a condition addressing earthquake safety standards. There's a concern about hazardous materials or inappropriate materials going through the recycling facility, and there's a conclusion stated in the applicant's presentation material that about 4% of each ton consists of some contaminants, and they have a protocol to address those concerns. The drainage from the site flows towards Yorty Creek, and while normally you would not, because this is an indoor operation, you would have to have a stormwater pollution prevention plan. They don't technically require it, but they're going to utilize their existing stormwater plan that's done for the outside operation, which is the wood waste recycling, and utilize the same concepts and best management practices in operating the indoor facility for the waste stream. Noise would be a common complaint, and that was one of the complaints we had most during the temporary batch plant that was located there. And in this instance, they've done noise studies. The noise studies have concluded that this is an already well-impacted area, and that in comparison to the existing noise generators in the vicinity, which obviously the freeway is a principal one, that this project will have not contribute significantly to the noise in the area. They have developed a protocol for noise complaints and complaints in general, and then there's also some monitoring that's supposed to be done at the commencement of operation, and then after a period of time when the facility has been under operation to monitor noise and to adjust any operations if they have to meet a defined standard. Again, traffic was a significant concern, and truck traffic will primarily enter off of State Street. It won't use Pomo Lane except for some emergency purposes or incidental traffic. Again, the operation will be mostly indoors, which will address some of the noise, odors, and other concerns. With the information that we had presented to us, we did go through a referral process, sought agency comment. We worked with the applicant in developing mitigation measures that we thought were workable, both for the project and the neighborhood. And with that, we sent out a notice to the neighbors that we were going to adopt a negative declaration for the project. Pursuant to that notice, you have your appeal. So with that, I'll try to respond to your questions. I should, one other thing I apologize to say, I did give a packet of letters to the clerk at the beginning so they could pass those around to you for you to review. Those letters were received during the course of our processing of this application.
Okay. Please, go ahead and start. Okay, questions of the staff on this item of appeal? Okay, seeing no one step forward, let's go to, first will be the appellant, maximum presentation of 20 minutes, followed by the applicant of 20 minutes. So the appellant is Mr. Brockett, I believe.
Good afternoon, supervisors. My name is Herb Brockett, and I'm one of the appellants that filed this appeal. The reason we filed this appeal is because we believe that, number one, the conditions that were applied to the project do not mitigate the problems that come with the project. And number two, there are problems that were completely overlooked and omitted from the development review process. Before I review the list of problems and their related conditions, I'd like to refresh the board and this audience regarding this area. The site being discussed is completely surrounded by residential properties, several of which are zoned suburban residential and are high density. Some are adjacent to the site, 200 feet away. All of them are within 1,000 feet. That's about like the distance from here to the playground over at Frank Zeke's school. This is a mixed-use area, and as such, not all the activities that appear on the accepted use list Frank mentioned are appropriate to be sited in this area, especially when there are better, more logical sites available. We all agree that a local recycling facility is important, it's a good idea, it's needed. This is just not the place for it. In June of 2006, this board adopted policy number 43, the precautionary principle policy. A few excerpts from that policy are the board's findings. Every resident, present and future, of Mendocino County has an equal right to a healthy and safe environment. This requires that our air, water, earth, and food be of a sufficiently high standard that individuals, communities